Hello, today I'm going to talk about culture shocks that I've experienced in Korea, especially just like things that I am not used to and that we do different in Canada, but then it doesn't work here. Like you have to assimilate, unfortunately and fortunately. This one you may have heard in the past because it's a very common thing that people notice here when they come to Korea is that there is no personal space. There's no personal space that you have, and there's no concept of personal space. Like your personal space is your skin. That's your personal space, which is kind of uncomfortable, but it's also efficient and good in some ways where you're standing in an elevator and people will just reach over and press the button. There's no like awkward like, oh, could you press the button for me, or like which button would you need. Like it's more efficient. It's just like boom boom boom, you know. And then when you're walking too, it's like there's so many people walking everywhere that you can't be like, oh sorry, oh sorry, oh sorry, like Canadians. It just like you just weave through like ants, and it's weird but it works. We are currently at Lotte department store, 백화점. There's a lot of people and there's some really good deals. For example, I saw some bags the other day for $5. I was like, and they're cute too. Another culture shock is the fact that everything is automated. People staring at me. Oh, that's another thing too. Everyone stares in Korea, which is pretty funny. If you're doing something a little strange or you look a little interesting, then they're always staring at you. Like there's this one ajumma who's staring at me. Yeah, it's just funny. The train system is really good. I at first was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how do we get on the train? But there are machines and all the machines are automated too. And then the gates are automated. So you just use the card that you get from the machine and you use it in the gate. And at first I was like, is there anyone to ask for help? But there's no like station desk at all in most stations because you just kind of use the automated systems. Everything's automated. Like to go in between the carts, you press a button and then the doors will automatically open. So oh, so pretty. There are a lot of really cool cafes here in Korea. For example, I'm at a Meerkat cafe, but there are no swimming pools. Hotels don't even have swimming pools, and houses don't have swimming pools because there's no space in the land. There's only swimming pools at some community centers, and they're only for 6 years old and up. So if you have a toddler or a child that's under 6, you can't do mom and tot swimming, which was kind of a culture shock to me because I was like calling 20 different swimming pools and trying to figure out where I can go to take Mina swimming, but there's only kind of fancy splash pads for toddlers or water park, and that was really different because in the West we always encourage children to swim from young, but here there's just no space for it. And there's no need because there's no space for pools. There's no life-threatening water anywhere. Another culture shock, you must have an umbrella on you at all times because just like today, you can have unexpected rain at any time. And so it's really helpful to have an umbrella on you at all times. And then there's also umbrellas being sold on the streets for like $3. So it's super, super convenient to grab. Another thing that is super culture shock for me was that the bus systems are very intense. They have coach buses that go all throughout the province and the city, and it's just like super, super, super well designed and automated. And they even have plugs to charge your phones in front of the seat. There's also Wi-Fi and data everywhere you go, anywhere you go. And usually, like, unless you're walking on the street in the middle of nowhere, you're gonna have Wi-Fi and data. Let's talk about strollers and elevators for the last time because this was the first thing that culture shocked me. There's no strollers and no elevators. People who do take strollers around, they just leave them outside the shops. And the strollers just sit there outside. No one takes them, no one steals anything from inside them, and they just sit there because the stores are small and there's no space for strollers, only on the streets. And people also push strollers on the road instead of the sidewalk because the sidewalk is bumpy unless it's a main, like a big main road. And then additionally, because everything is so small, there's no elevators, so that's also like, I'm like looking for elevators, and it's not very wheelchair accessible. It is, but it's very, very complicated, like an anthill. This is the end of my day. I hope you enjoyed the culture shocks that I've been experiencing since coming to Korea and living in Korea for over a month now. And if you'd like to watch the previous video in my trip to Korea series, you can check out that video right here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.